Next one. Hey guys, I recently took on a tree service client who had a company that was doing SEO for them who they dropped. Since July, algo update, their website dropped from position 1 to the bottom of page 1 for most of its main terms. Looking at their linking profile of competitors compared to this client site, the client site has been nuked with high trust flow blog comments that aren't topically relevant. That's probably part of the reason. Meanwhile, competitors are ranking with minimal links that are not relevant. The anchors seem to be mostly brand naked and generic, but moving forward, what process would you suggest to tidy up the backlinking profile? Cheers, Heath. Hey, Heath. Yeah, I mean, it depends on, it's interesting, but with local projects, you can, if you're getting links from other local businesses, so local sources, so links that are geographically relevant or location relevant, then they don't have to be topically relevant and they'll provide benefit because that's part of kind of the local ranking algorithm. Google understands that businesses where businesses are located, right? It understands. So if you get a link from I use this example often, but for a tree service contractor, let's say that the appropriate, and Heath, I'm sure you know this, the appropriate kind of topical trust flow categories or topical categories, but I'm going to use it in topical trust flow terms, which is Majestic's categorization of topics. So for tree service contractors, there's really like 3 that are the most appropriate or primary kind of topical trust flow categories: business construction and maintenance, business agriculture and forestry, and in home/gardening. Those 3 are the most appropriate. So on a topical level, to rank organically, right, you want to try to get links that are in those kind of topical categories. But to rank locally, which means maps ranking, what also has an influence on organic ranking is getting any sort of link from any kind of topical category. Doesn't have to be a relevant topical category, but from sites or sources that are locally relevant, meaning in close proximity, in the same city, same region, whatever. So an example of that would be like having an attorney, a lawyer, a law firm in the same city as your tree service company or tree service business that client or lead gen asset, whatever it is, your tree service project, having an attorney that had a tree got struck by lightning or something in their parking lot, and they called the tree service contractor. Tree service contractor comes out and does a tree removal job, does a good job. The attorney does a thank you post on their blog about it, like, hey, just want to give a shout out to Joe's Tree Service for coming out and taking care of a tree that got struck by lightning in our parking lot, blah, blah, blah. And they link to Joe's Tree Service in this case. That link is going to come from a site that is likely has society/law as the primary topical trust flow category. So it's not topically relevant, but because it's a business that is located in the same city, it's geographically relevant. So therefore that link right there is powerful. It's powerful for ranking locally. In maps, it also does have an influence on ranking organically because Google understands that law firm is an entity based in the same general area, right? Other places you can get links from would be, local chamber of commerce, at least in the United States. I think Heath, you're in Australia. If I'm not, if it's the same Heath, I think it is. Tree services, I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, my point is, local chamber of commerce in the U.S. I'm sure there's comparable associations or organizations in Australia, but also like local news and media sites, other vendors or businesses that the company does business with in the same general area. Any of those are going to work, right? Because again, they're going to be locally relevant links or geographically relevant links. That's important for ranking locally. Both, it has an influence on organic, but it's more about ranking in maps. Similarly, topically relevant links matter for ranking in organics. It's more important for ranking in organic than it is in maps, but it has an influence on maps. They all work together. So the reason I tell you all this is because, I analyze a ton of projects. I do competition and analysis for all of our link building clients. So I'm always constantly looking at backlink profiles of projects, local projects. And there are a lot of times where we find top ranked competitors that are ranking with very poor topically relevant links, meaning most of their links are not topically relevant. But upon further investigation, you find out that they get a lot of links from local sources. And that has a significant influence on local ranking. So, that's probably part of the reason. Guys, that's why I say just building links based on metrics is no longer valid, in my opinion. Just getting high trust flow, if it's not in an appropriate category, does nothing. I've tested that. I've tested that within the last year. I've tested that, and I could get trust flow links 50 plus, but they weren't in the appropriate category. They did nothing. In fact, I even saw a negative, like a negative movement from getting high trust flow links that weren't in an appropriate category. So it's the same thing that goes with, DR or DA or whatever. And I don't even think that the domain ratings really matter as much as the page authority metrics do. So whether it's page authority or URL rating, if it's Ahrefs, it'd be URL rating, or UR, I guess they call it. Those I think are more important than even the domain metrics, really, to be honest. But to me, it's all about topical relevance or geographic relevance, one or the other. At Semantic Links, we focus on topically relevant links, not local links. That's much more difficult to get, the local links, at least at scale. For somebody like me, a link builder, it's difficult to do. As an agency or consultant, especially if you're working in, specific cities and things like that, I always recommend to my link building clients, hey, it's up to you as the SEO agency or the consultant to secure local links for your clients, or instruct your clients how to do it and have your clients try to secure local links, which they can do by just asking, like, again, vendors that they do business with in the same town, same general area, things like that, doing link exchanges from other companies in the same town. That works. That absolutely works. So there you go. I think, again, if you were to kind of analyze that a little bit more and look at the backlink profiles, Heath, of the competitors that are ranking better, even though there might be low quality links, there probably some sort of geographic relevance there, which is why they're ranking. And then, by the way, there's always times that it's not all that often, but there are always times where there's just something that's ranking that makes no sense, and I can't figure it out. And, I can analyze until I'm blue in the face, and it does not make any difference. I cannot figure out why sometimes there are certain websites that rank. There are just anomalies, algorithmic anomalies that occur that I cannot explain. I just actually looked at one of those earlier this week. I just could not figure out why it was ranking. But that happens from time to time.